look for things that people are going to be able to use in real life. Can they use these coins for GameFi? Is there an ecosystem behind it? Is it a metaverse type of project? Obviously, the metaverse type of projects you want to kind of be careful, wary with. But I really think that we'll see GameFi absolutely take off in the next, probably within the next cycle. So my top favorite, top favorite. And again, you guys, I've got a pretty big moon bag of this and talk about all the time is
Hey, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. Today, joined with Wendy O, host of the Wendy O Show, the largest female YouTuber and TikToker in the world, I believe, and also recently featured and written up in Time Magazine. Wendy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Is it alt or is it coin?
It is coin today. Yes, it's just Aaron. Austin is around here somewhere. I don't know, is somewhere floating around in space, but yeah, it's coin today.
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here. Happy to chat with you and the Altcoin Daily squad about what are we talking about?
All right, Wendy, we come to you for the real alpha. I know you're heavily involved in this world. Today, I want to talk about how to take profits in NFTs. I want to talk about how to spot good NFTs and altcoins on your radar right now, April, May 2022.
All right, let's first start with NFTs because NFTs have become this very, very taboo topic. Like I can just right click, it's a JPEG. But in actuality, when you purchase an NFT, you could either be supporting an artist, you can be purchasing an NFT to use in some sort of GameFi as a metaverse avatar. And more importantly, a lot of people aren't talking about this, but if you purchase an NFT from a musician or from a writer, whatever it is, you could potentially own IP rights, which is also known as intellectual property. There's all these different merchandising and licensing rights and all these different rights that happen in the entertainment industry, which I'm sure you guys know very, very well. Got to sign all these contracts, make sure you're not getting taken advantage of by those predatory third parties. But NFTs offer a lot, and we're still very, very early in the game. So one of the things that I like to talk about to my audience is how to spot good NFT projects. Well, one top example is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They've done super, super well. They had their original line of the Bored Apes, and then you're able to buy these serums or whatever it was, and then you can, mutate your ape into these mutant apes, and it's pretty cool. And now they have ApeCoin. But a very interesting thing that they're doing is they're talking about utilizing IP, intellectual property rights for the holders. So I want to pay attention to different NFT projects that are utilizing a very similar technology. Do they need a coin? I don't know. They could if they want to. ApeCoin's doing really well, but I think that we should think like the big executives from Hollywood. And when these guys, when they go in and they analyze, should we produce this film? They're not just looking about writing the content and producing the film. They're looking at like 5 to 10 years down the road. Can we take these licensing agreements and sell them? Can we do merchandising? Can we do, they have all these little contracts and stuff written up. So I think it's important for people to utilize this as utility when they're looking at NFT projects. What does the team have going on? Is it just like a profile picture, JPEG? I think that that's going to be the key for some of the longevity with NFTs.
So you just said that look for projects that give you IP rights. That's utility.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'm following you so far. Obviously, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club. That was the most popular one, I guess. What else should I look for?
Well, another thing that I like to look for with NFTs is there's different ways to analyze your NFT portfolio. You're buying stuff to do quick flips and to make money, but you also maybe want to buy stuff to support a local artist or a musician or a poet or writer. And when you're doing that, you're kind of supporting the community. And I think that that's a very, very powerful thing. And I guess we can kind of segue into profit taking. And a lot of people are buying these JPEGs. They're pretending like they're on eBay and they're flipping the stuff and they're doing really well, which is amazing. But there's no real rhyme or reason to it. So the way that I like to take profit with my NFTs is I will go ahead and I will mint quite a few. I'll mint like 5 to 10, 2 to 3, 1 or 2, depending on what the price is. And other times, like if it's on the secondary market, if it's already on OpenSea or Rarible or whatever it is, I'll buy 2 or 3 of them. And then after I buy, I've done my research, I make sure that it makes sense. But once the number starts going up, I make a moon bag with my NFTs. I was able to do this with my mutant apes, which is really, really nice because I got that airdrop, but I bought them under 10 ETH. I held on to them for a couple of months. I waited for the floor price to rise. And then I was able to sell one for about I think 3 times what I paid for it. So I essentially was able to sell that ape. I was able to make profit on it. And then the other ape I have it free and clear.
So when you're selling this ape, when you're selling into strength, the price has gone up a little bit. Are you listing it near the floor price? Or are you trying to get a little bit more than the floor price?
It depends. So that's another thing that we have to pay attention to. OpenSea is cool because it's got the little traits on the side to let you know how rare it is. But there's other platforms like IC Tools, and I think Wall Street Fam, they have a tool that goes along with their NFTs as well. So it's good to use. It's good to like join the Discord, kind of see what's happening, what people are talking about, but look at some of the utility, and then also see how rare your NFT is, because you might have been able to mint a very, very rare NFT. So you want to make sure that when you're listing it, you want to kind of list it with other prices that are, or with other NFTs that are kind of similar, that have similar traits, just so that you're not necessarily losing money on it. However, there are some people I do know, let's say they bought an NFT at 1 ETH and then the floor price goes up to 5 ETH, but they sell it maybe at 4 ETH. You're still in profit, but sometimes you do have to sell to get that liquidity so you can utilize that liquidity and get into another project.
So as we're wrapping up NFTs, and I want to get on to altcoins on your radar, like besides Bored Ape, like how do you find the next Bored Ape? Obviously every project claims that, and most of them aren't, but like, I guess if we can look at like the other things that have done well in NFT land, like Azuki, like Doodles, that's all I can think of off the top of my head, but like those are like very different art styles, and then they have a lot of derivative copies. And Azuki also, I guess, used a new kind of smart contract code to make things cheaper, but like, so I guess like I'm thinking, oh, find something that's radically different. Don't get into derivatives. Is that how you think about it? And if so, I would love if you could like mention a few more projects on your radar.
Well, some of the stuff that I'm looking at, I'm really looking at some of the utility behind this stuff. I'm paying attention to like, what can I actually do with this NFT? Am I getting IP rights? Can I stake it? Can there's all these different things. I do like the new tech being utilized, like you talked about for Azuki. And I also follow that similar protocol that you do, is looking for things that have not been done yet, like different types of art. Because let's face it, we see so many different apes being made, like so many different apes, so many different kind of cats being made. And I think they have lazy lions or something like that. I don't even know, but I look for things that are kind of brand new and they have actual like utility behind it. Like there's this one project that we spoke about quite some time on the channel. It's called BMC Blockchainers Mining Club. And it's basically NFTs that are backed by Bitcoin, because what they did with the profits of the sale is they went and they bought Bitcoin miners. And so holders get Bitcoin given out to them like every once in a while, depending on how how it's set up. And then was another really cool project that we were able to successfully flip. It's called Generative Dungeons. And it's basically, if you guys go to wendy.eth, the team was so generous to airdrop me some. And what these do is if you go to wendy.eth and you click on my Generative Dungeons, you can actually play the NFT inside my wallet, which is super, super
Pretty cool.
So you want, like, those are examples of things you want to look for. You want to look for things that are like, that nobody else is doing, or it's brand new. Obviously there's going to be risk associated, but if you can spot this stuff new, I think that you'll do okay.
I love it. Guys, I encourage everybody to go subscribe to Wendy on YouTube and Twitter, links below. Wendy, let's get into some altcoins on your radar. What are you looking at?
Right now, it is still the same game plan as 2021. I am looking for metaverse and GameFi projects. I think that we will have a bear market. Obviously, I don't know exactly when that's going to come. I can speculate. But the market is showing like decent strength right now, not too terribly great, not too terribly sexy. But I do think that if you pay attention to altcoins, like obviously we've got the top 100 that look pretty decent, but I would maybe take a step back and pay attention to projects that may have real utility. Like I believe was it Step Official or Step, that GMT, whatever it was, completely went off. And that makes sense because it does have real utility. Look for things that people are going to be able to use in real life. Can they use these coins for GameFi? Is there an ecosystem behind it? Is it a metaverse type of project? Obviously, with the metaverse type of projects, you want to kind of be careful, wary with, but I really think that we'll see GameFi absolutely take off in the next, probably within the next cycle. So my top favorite, and again, you guys, I've got a pretty big moon bag of this and talk about all the time, is Gala. The reason why I like Gala is because they've got their Gala stuff. So I run my founders nodes, and then they just launched Gala Music. Gala Music is cool because what they're doing is they're incubating artists and like, hey, you can sell your NFT for this, and whatever. And they're kind of helping them do it the proper way. And for me, that is an absolute real use case when it comes to NFTs. So projects that are doing similar things that have gaming or involved in music that are NFTs, GameFi, play to earn, whatever it is, those are projects that I'm keeping on my radar. Obviously, some things we want to look for. We want to, is the team docs? How is the Discord? Is there bots? You want to go to the, founders and the teams to their personal social media pages. They should have those linked to the website. You want to make sure they're not saying weird things or being weird. If you know how to read code, you want to take a look at the audits, at the codes, make sure that it makes sense, and then kind of figure out what the utility is. If the team is able to present to you the utility of the project on the front of their website, it's easy to understand within the first 5 minutes, I think you've got yourself a winner.
I'm with you on the play and earn or gamified coins. Now the metaverse crypto, it seems like there's like a gray line between metaverse and gaming type things. How do you kind of like differentiate those, or do you?
Well, I kind of do, because again, some of the stuff that we look for, because I have a vetting team and we go through like anything that comes in, we vet it before we talk about it on the channel, if like whatever it is. And then also too, like for our white paper, we have the Wendy's white paper, which is a free newsletter. Like the guys just don't randomly talk about stuff. They look at things that may have real utility, that they like, they're excited about. I pay them to do it, but they look at things that get them excited. And we have like a vetting form that we use that we're like, does this check off? Does this check off? But when it comes to the metaverse stuff, I think that we do have to kind of be careful and be a little bit weary, because a lot of teams will pump out metaverse, but they don't really have real utility. Like, can I actually use this metaverse? Like, is it similar to Sandbox? Is it similar to Decentraland? Is it similar to what Gala is doing? Is it similar to any of this stuff? So I think you should, you can play, you can have some fun, be a DJ and throw some money, throw a little bit of disposable income, but take profits like a savage, and just make sure whatever metaverse project you're in, make sure that it makes sense and it's checks the different boxes that make sense to you.
I like it. I'm a big fan of Wendy O. I encourage everybody to go subscribe to her YouTube channel, follow her on Twitter. Wendy, any final thoughts for the Altcoin Daily audience?
Thank you so much to Alt and Coin for inviting me on the show. And rumor has it, when Austin and Aaron get back from whatever it is they're doing, IRL, they will be coming on the O Show, and they will start to come on the O Show more often. So you guys are going to have to subscribe to check out those scandalous conversations.
Definitely. And we'll link it on Twitter and stuff when we do. So follow us on Twitter. Wendy, thank you so much for coming on. Have a great day.